Let's talk about the Janome 3160 QDC and why I believe this is the best travel machine slash beginner machine for its value. Hey guys, it's David from Gigi's Fabric Shop, home of Janome Junkies and Junkies. And in today's video, I'm extremely excited to go over the key features that are built into this Janome 3160, along with all the accessories that are included with this machine. Let's get started. The first thing you might notice is its throat space. Its throat space is 6.9 inches from its needle all the way to the body of its machine, allowing you to fit quite a bit of material in here and quilt with ease. You also notice that it has a nice shaved out area here, so that way you can roll up material in here if it's a really big quilt. Another great feature on this machine is its lightweight design. This machine weighs just under 13 pounds at 12.6 pounds, making it very easy to transport and put away in your closet when you're not using it. It also has a free arm cover that slides right off, and now you can see that it has a beautiful free arm that allows you to do garment sewing super easy. And inside that free arm cover, when you're not using it or when you have it on the machine, it is a nice little storage area for all of its accessories. This free arm cover can be used by just sliding it back on or taken off by just pulling it off just like that. And you can also put on its extension table, allowing you to have a larger workspace for free motion quilting and piecing. Now you may have just caught me talking about free motion quilting, and yes, this machine does have the capability to do free motion quilting, and it does come with a free motion quilting foot. On the back of this machine, you'll notice that there's a little lever that allows you to flip it from the left, dropping the feed dogs, and to the right, raising your feed dogs up with just a quick little switch. It's super easy to use, and it allows you to switch from regular sewing to free motion quilting with just one little click of a button. This machine is, of course, a low shank machine, so your foot just drops right off, and you can attach a different foot depending on what projects you're working with, and there's no tools required to do that. That is a nice feature that is found on low shank machines, allowing you to switch between different styles of feet on the fly. One thing I like to always mention about this machine is it does have a built-in press foot pressure. This allows you to adjust your press foot pressure for different types of materials that you may be sewing through. If you're sewing heavier materials, you want to decrease your press foot pressure to a lower number. And if you're sewing lighter materials, you want to increase your press foot pressure to a higher number. A good number to have it on for the majority of sewing is going to be right at number 3, which is the medium point on your press foot pressure. This machine also has a built-in bobbin winder, which allows you to wind bobbins with ease, and it's super quiet and smooth. One thing that I've noticed about this machine is everything on it is very easy to use, such as its labeled thread paths and bobbin winding, with all of it described with little animations. You can see that literally every little thread path has a number labeling it and arrows showing you how to thread it, making it super easy for those beginners, but also super easy for those travelers that aren't using this machine all the time. Now, not only that, this machine does have a really nice presser foot lift that allows you to lift up your foot super high for a travel machine slash beginner machine. You don't really see this on small little travel machines, but this foot literally lifts up where, let's get a measurement on this. I think it's probably more than an inch. That is an insane amount, and don't let it fool you because this machine can handle some really thick materials. Here's a little short clip of me sewing over 16 layers of denim with ease, and it didn't even hesitate going through this kind of material. One of my favorite features about this machine is it actually has a start-stop button. This allows you to start your machine and stop your machine without a foot pedal. Now, as you may know, when you're traveling from location to location, it's easy to forget things. And if you forget your foot pedal, that could really freeze up your sewing day. I love this feature because since I'm always working on machines and cleaning them, I don't actually have to have the customer drop them off when they have this to do a test sew out. Now it also even has a reverse button here where you can reverse stitch, and a lock stitch button which does a great job at tucking that thread underneath, so you really don't need that reverse stitch button to reinforce your stitches when you use that lock stitch. But not only that, it even has a button on here for your needle down and needle up, so that way you can ensure your needle is in the right position when using its needle threader. Yes, this machine does have a needle threader and it works super easy. All you have to do is make sure you press needle down, needle up, before you use it, and it should work all the time. You might see this little scissor button, and you might be wondering what that is, because typically machines of this size and price range don't have something called an under trimmer. Well, this machine does. You just press this button when you're done sewing. It'll automatically trim your thread, pick up your needle, and all you have to do is lift up your foot and pull your fabric out, and you're ready to start sewing on the next project. Now, as you may see here, you also have your speed control. This speed control allows you to govern your maximum speed and your minimum speed when sewing. This is a great feature for the person who's doing free motion quilting, because you can push this to the middle, push down the pedal all the way, and you can have that speed selected to what you would like it to be. So if you push down the pedal all the way and you have it here, it's going to be really slow. If you push down the pedal all the way and you have this speed control right here in the middle, it's going to be about its medium speed. And if you have it all the way here and you push down the pedal, it's going to go really, really fast. Now, if you push down the pedal just a little bit, it goes slow. This just controls your maximum speed to be either super fast, medium, or super slow. And you can kind of pick in between all those little settings, of course. Now, one thing I really like about this machine is it does have a small little digital screen, and a lot of people sometimes can be nervous when there's electronic components on a machine, but this is a super easy to navigate electronic screen, and this is really just a digital display that's just telling you the settings that you have set up on the machine. So it's not something to be scared about. It's super easy to navigate. As you can see here, we have our two little numbers, and this is just indicating what stitch we're on, as this machine has 60 stitches to choose from and 6 different one-step buttonholes to choose from as well. So if I want to select a specific stitch, let's go ahead and pick, let's do 39. All I'm going to do is put my little crosshair to the number, the first 0, and go up till I hit 3. Then I'm going to push to the right to bring that crosshair to this right side, and I'm going to go up to 9. Wait, did I say 39? Yep, I did. 39. And now it's going to pop up an indicator telling you what foot works best with this stitch, but now I am ready to actually sew out this stitch. So now when I'm ready, I can just press start, or I can select how wide I want this stitch to be and how long I want this stitch to be by just arrowing over, having my little underlining crosshair underneath that number, and I can arrow it up and down. Now this machine goes all the way up to 7 millimeters wide, and then I can arrow to the right, and now I can go to my stitch length, and this will go all the way up to 5 millimeters long. So this is a really, really easy to navigate machine, because I just showed you how to use it in under 30 seconds with the navigation of this little digital screen and these 4 little buttons here. So if you're worried about getting a machine that you might be confused on using, this is definitely not that machine. I sold this machine to a customer the other day, and she's like, do you guys offer in-person classes? I'm like, of course we do, but I promise you with this machine, you won't have any questions. And she literally came back today when I was over at the local shop and she was buying materials, and I said, how are you liking your machine? She's like, oh, it's super easy to use. I love it. So I love selling this machine because it's super straightforward, super easy to use, and it packs a ton of great features in such a small package and at a great price point. Now you might see right here, what this is going to be your upper tension dial. This is going to control your upper tension. Typically, right there around 4 is going to be perfect across the board, but if you need to increase your tension because the bottom stitches aren't looking perfect, you would just increase it just by turning this number up, or decrease it by going down. If you want to learn more about tension, we have full videos on our YouTube channel going over tension and how to adjust it. Now, let's talk about the bobbin area / stitch plate. On this machine, you'll just have a universal stitch plate that allows you to do straight stitch, decorative stitches, and all different types of stitches. And then you have a class 15A bobbin, and this bobbin is nice because it's found on just about every single computerized sewing machine. It's a clear class 15A, and it's very universal. So we always recommend buying a Janome authentic bobbin, so that way you can ensure it's the perfect size, but just know that they are very universal. So if you have maybe a Junkie, you can typically use that class 15A bobbin on this machine as well. And to drop it in, it's super easy, and again, everything is labeled with arrows. And then that's all you have to do to drop it in, and then of course put your cover back on once you pull up your bobbin thread. Once you pull up your bobbin thread and you cut it, you don't actually have to pull it up every time after that. So it's super easy to use once you go ahead and pull it up the first initial time. Now you might notice up here, you've got your built-in thread stand, and you can put a variety of different mini spools right there, and it allows you to switch and put them on very easy, but it's also nice and tucked away where your thread is not in the way when traveling around. All right, it's time to go over all of its accessories. And as you may see, I already have the extension table, which of course is an accessory with this machine, on the machine, so you can kind of see. Plus we'll be laying all of its accessories on there as we show you them. So up first, we have 3 Class 15A bobbins that are included with this machine. And these are just gonna be your clear bobbins that, like I was saying, are pretty universal across all computerized machines. Up next, you're gonna have your bobbin pin felt, or spool pin felt, sorry. So this is used on your spool pin, just a little felt pad. They're gonna give you a pack of needles, and this is just gonna be a little variety pack of organ needles. There's 3 needles in this. And then up next, we have our additional spool pin. So this is just an additional spool pin for a different placement of your threads. And then we're gonna have our satin stitch foot, and this satin stitch foot is going to be labeled F. So every foot is actually labeled, so that way, depending on what stitch you're doing, it'll actually recommend the foot that you should use. We have E, which is gonna be our zipper attaching foot, which is really nice. And of course, you can move your needle to either side of it. Then we have our automatic buttonholer foot, and this is a nice little foot to include with the machine because you can do buttonholes and garments. This machine is fantastic for garment sewing, especially with that free arm cover. Up next, we have the over edge foot. And of course, these are all low shank feet, so they just click right onto the machine with ease. And then we have our blind hem foot. This just has a little guide down the middle. It almost looks like a type of stitch in the ditch foot. Then we have our 1/4 inch seam foot. So this is going to be a 1/4 inch with a guide on the edge. It's a very popular foot for our quilters. Then we have our custom crafted zigzag foot, just a big open toe foot for a variety of different decorative stitches. Then of course you have your seam ripper. Hopefully you have to never use this. If you got to take this thing out, it's not fun. Hopefully you never have to use that. Now we have our screwdriver key set. This is great for taking off your stitch plate, changing your needle, and a variety of other little things you might need to do on this machine, such as taking off your low to high shank adapter. They give you a nice little lint brush. This is great for cleaning out that bobbin case area, along with a little pick for picking out anything that might be stuck in your feed dogs. And then they give you a spool stand, and what this does is it really just goes on first, then you can put your spool on, and your spool just kind of sits in this. And then you of course get your large spool cap and your small spool cap for different spools of thread you may be using. And this machine also comes with a quilting attachment kit, which comes with all of these additional feet. So you've got the walking foot guide bar, which is just gonna slide in back here and give you a nice little guide while using the walking foot. That is a super popular foot for almost every machine that quilters are using. Then you have your T-gauge, which is a nice little seam gauge. It just mounts onto the stitch plate and gives you a flat edge to run your materials and have consistent seam allowances on all of your different projects. This is a really popular accessory as well. And then they give you a free motion quilting foot. And this is a clear open toe free motion quilting foot. Gives you a great sight of your needle and how your free motion quilting work is going. Our free arm cover, which we kind of already talked about, that's a nice little accessory. And finally, the hardcover. This is great for the travelers. When you have a hardcover on your machine, it allows you to transport the machine without it getting anything important banged up. And as you may know, sewing machines can be super finicky, so the slightest bump on the front knocking something out of position can cause a lot of headache. So it does include a nice hardcover with the machine. And finally, a little bonus, a paper user manual. I know this is like super hard to come by, so save the best for last, the paper user manual. If you guys are looking for a travel machine or beginner machine, be sure to call us or hit us up via email. We love to fit you in the right machine, and we love to support you guys the day you get the machine and many years after you get your machine. That's why we have designed our YouTube videos and our Facebook group called Janome Junkies, where we have thousands of members in there sharing their experiences with Janome machines, and it's all experiences. So you've got your good and your bad on that group. So if you're looking for a Janome, or maybe you already have one and you want to share your experience, join the Janome Junkies Facebook group. But if you are interested in purchasing this machine, head over to janomejunkies.com, where we have great deals on these machines, and you can always give us a call and we can always get you even a better deal. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give us a like and comment down below if you have any questions, or maybe you want to share some of your favorite features about this machine. I hope to see you guys on the next video. We post every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you later.